we're live. Welcome. This is This Week in Mini Apps. We like to get together once a week and talk about and demo new and interesting applications and people and builders in the Farcaster mini app ecosystem. So excited this week. We have two great builders, Igor working on Griv and Mark, who's been working on Stream.
Hey, everyone.
Cool. Yeah, and I think we don't have much news this week, so we'll go straight to checking out these apps and checking out your demos. So yeah, Igor, you want to go first? Give us a quick introduction to Griv.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Griv uses your camera and it allows it to be reimagined for fitness. So the way I explain it through conversation is a lot of athletes and everyday athletes, they use like personal hardware trackers like Apple Fitness or Whoop, which I have on. And Griv's making a bet that a great personal fitness tracker is actually your camera, and it's the most ubiquitous tracker. It's on top of 7 billion smartphones worldwide. And we think that the AI models that do the vision scanning are good enough to create enough context for the information to be valuable to the end user. I'll just quickly demo it to kind of give it some more color. Let me just share my screen.
And you guys made a lot of updates recently as well. I know working with builders.
Yeah, a lot of updates. You would normally open this up on your phone. You could see the side of my face, but this is the camera. And just a few features, like there's a kind of like a how-to, like what Griv is about, how the process works. So to run through it, a user opens the app or mini app. They check in via a photo. So they just snap a photo of themselves running or lifting weights, or even snapping a photo of their fitness tracker stats. Basically anything under the sun in terms of fitness lifestyle, including food. The camera is no longer just kind of functional utility. It's now a personality that has an AI model living behind it. It scans whatever you upload and it categorizes it. And it gives it 2 simple words to tag it. You could see Tim, the famous TLDR, did a kind of like a post-workout selfie. So in that image, so there's no real context that he's like running or working out, but the AI actually knows based on like the fact that he's sweating or he has his shirt off or he looks tired, that it's post-workout. That was not edited by him. That was not edited by me. That was entirely labeled and tagged by Griv AI. So you check in with your photo, Griv AI analyzes it, you compete on the leaderboard, and then you could share it with your friends leveraging the Farcaster social graph. Whoops, I don't want to lose Tim's face there. So here's the leaderboard. There's a weekly leaderboard, and there's also an all-time leaderboard. And then there's also streaks, which help people kind of stay consistent, accountable, and motivated not to kind of drop the ball in terms of their workouts. So let me just demo the product in action. So I have this handy dumbbell that I keep by my side at all times, just in case. I'll use the new timed feature that we released. So one of the things we realized is that fitness is cool if you could do it hands-free. So we added a timer. So just 5 seconds, so I'll mess it up. So it's 5 seconds. And now, just present you here with my trusted demo. So let's see what it says. So I'll analyze the image. Hopefully it'll correctly see that, so it sees the kettlebell. And then, I don't know if you could see it here, but it reads person holding a skull style kettlebell up while wearing headphones, clearly performing or posing for a kettlebell strength move. So that's kind of the context that it gives you. and then you could share your achievement directly on Farcaster, and you can see that on the left side here. And then further feeds to kind of embed where other people can check in and open the app and try Grid for themselves. Yeah, so that's the product demo.
Super cool. I really love the flow, and then that it's like really shows up really nice in the social feed, and you can see people's images. I know there's been like a lot of demand to use Griv. Like, what's kind of the plan for opening it up to more people? Like, curious how you're thinking about that.
Yeah, so it's a really good question. I was contemplating on perhaps dropping some alpha today, but I spoke to Builders Garden. They said, why don't you not do things at the end of the week on the Friday when things could break? So it's likely that early next week, Griv will open up to everyone. Nice. And the reason that we've been holding off is just because there's still some anti-gaming measures that we're looking into, because like virtually, you could just pose and go to the gym and just submit a bunch of photos, but we have video right around the corner. So video provides better anti-gaming mechanics because the way it works is it's multi-frame. So instead of sending one frame to OpenAI, you send up to 20 frames, and you can get a lot more context on what's actually happening in the photo and the validity of like that person's action. And there's a few other things that we're working on that will prevent people from gaming it. But with knowing that, we're still looking to open it up to everyone, just because the worst thing that happens is I'll just ban like people who are like on my leaderboard. I check hundreds of like users at daily anyway, so like I'm fine going through a list of 1,000. Yeah, so that's kind of, I guess, somewhat, it's not really alpha, but we're opening up to everyone soon, and hope to drive more engagement.
That's awesome. And then just out of curiosity, like if you're on the leaderboard, like, are there any plans on like prizes or things people get for being on the leaderboard?
Yeah, that's also been top of mind. Once the product is at a point, including video, where we're confident that the leaderboard is close to, it's not gonna be perfect. It's never gonna be perfect for gaming reasons. But once it's almost there, that's when we'll turn on some incentives and start to like think through how to reinforce the users that already love the product without having like any kind of carrot in front of them. Like that, to me, that's the most important thing, is where are my 100 users that absolutely love the product now, and how do I make them 10x love the product with this like perhaps new incentive? Because I've found that like if you do it the other way and you attract like just incentive driven people, that like they won't, it's not because of them, but they just won't have the opportunity to like build up a love for your actual product, because their minds will just be thinking about one thing. But we are in crypto, and that's like top of mind for everyone. And I think to scale beyond, to kind of have for Griv to have an opportunity to stand on its own 2 legs and capture all of crypto, because there are a lot of people into fitness on crypto, it can leverage incentives correctly and do it well.
That's really cool. It seems like, so the sort of capture is very comprehensive, right? I've seen people do lots of different activities. Like how how extensive is that? What all can I log on Griv, and like how good is it at detecting whatever like kind of crazy sport or activity I'm doing?
Yeah, so it's pretty broad in terms of fitness lifestyle, so which includes like almost any sport under the sun, any casual sport under the sun, food that is part of a like nutritious and healthy like lifestyle. Like it won't give you points for like a hamburger from McDonald's, but if you eat like a clean meal with like avocado and some steak on the plate, like it'll definitely like recognize all those things. It's even a little too lenient on the food side. I've been kind of like tweaking it. Like some people have different perspectives of what's healthy. So because you have people who are training for like endurance runs, maybe they're eating something from pasta for a run or whatever, but Mark, who's on with us today, and this thought actually came from Mark, is when he submitted his Griv check-in, he submitted a screenshot of his run for, I forget what the exact race is called, but it's basically like a last man standing where he just runs for a very long time consecutively, and it was 30 hours. And he got the same amount of points that somebody else did for like taking a walk or like taking a jog. And somebody commented like, I think Mark deserves more points. So I was like, very true. Something that's been very top of mind in terms of how we can extract data using the AI models. But the tricky part is that when you release something, it has to work like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, it'll just ruin the user experience completely. So that's like been the kind of like, the technology is already there. The models are good enough to extract like what Mark did out of his screenshot. But we just run tests to make sure that it's like optimal. And so the point I'm making is that the point system is very arbitrary now and kind of loose with what it's doing. But over time, what it's really going to do, it's going to measure some level of effort via the frames that are being fed to the camera, to the AI. In this case, it's the way I like to think of it is like if an image is worth 1,000 words, at 60 frames per second, video is 60,000 words per second, and that's how you're talking to the AI model that sits behind the camera. So that's kind of the frame of mind of how much data how densely packed the data is that we're feeding to Griv AI constantly. And I think what comes out on the other end is going to be very valuable in terms of insight when the users start to build up their profiles with Griv over time. Month 1, not so much. Month 2, maybe not so much. Month 6, the full profile knows that Mark's a runner, that he's more of a steak lover than a fish lover. Like it's going to know like a lot about like who he is in terms of fitness lifestyle, and can give them much better insights. Hey, like you're kind of been low on like, your protein intake this week or whatever. Things that are not very apparent in Griv now, they'll be very apparent just a few months down the road, maybe 6 or 12 months for sure.
Yeah. And like, how long have you been, maybe this is kind of inside baseball, I'm just curious about like the, the pipeline and like the tooling and like how you've seen that grow over the course of building this app, right? Because maybe even, I don't know, 6 months ago, a year ago, this kind of thing probably wouldn't have been possible with off the shelf tooling. And it's only been in like the, last 6 months you could build something like this. And, if you project that forward, like maybe a year from now, we'll have the ability to, I would love like, snap a screenshot of your meal, right? And not just categorize like healthy or not healthy, right? But like kind of figure out exactly what's in there and log that for me would be really amazing.
Yeah, I think you touched on a lot of really important points. I mean, the first one is that like everything's timing. Like you could build Uber at the wrong time, it wouldn't succeed. And I genuinely feel, and I'm super biased, but I genuinely feel there's been no better time to build something like this than today. As a clear example, yesterday, ChatGPT 5 released. Like we swapped it out within like half an hour of it being released, right? Like, so like there was no, you kind of have to have taste and own some of the distribution. And then what's commoditized in the back end, you have to make it just easy to swap. Cursor does this really well. Like I use Cursor all the time. Like they were first before ChatGPT allowed it on their site to use ChatGPT because it was open to their API. So like to your point, like, having the models that sit on the back end being swappable is super powerful, because it's not like a day or 3, it's minutes of work that requires to just snap it in and out. And the other thing in terms of this is I guess a testament to Farcaster, and it's like a gripe, but it's also like a thank you with yeah, do I want to grow and stand alone as an iOS app that's like it's built on top of the social graph of Farcaster? It's its own client. Farcaster Sports Me, we have cross compatibility. Absolutely. So I think like everything's there now in terms of that. No, like, but like, would I even be here today without the Farcaster social graph? No. So like, that part, I think what Farcaster did, that they kind of solved the cold start problem. This is going to be like hearsay, but like without a token, right? So before, like projects would be like, okay, like let's launch a token and then we'll solve the cold start problem and hopefully things succeed. Like Farcaster is like, okay, like you could actually just do that and refine your product before like, taking a huge shot in the dark and attaching kerosene to it. Like I think that is the most valuable thing to any builder, is to be able to solve the cold start problem, not because you're going to hit a billion out of the gate, but because you're going to like iterate and refine and point your plane in the right direction. And then you could add the kerosene, right? Or whatever plane you run on, a fuel. Jet fuel, yeah. I don't think there's any, maybe people say this all the time. I don't think there's been a better time to be a builder. Like you could go to MVP within days. You could go to Farcaster, get users. You can, if you wanted to do, you can incentivize via token. Like you have so many tools at your disposal. It's all tough. It's all a very tough game to play, and you get tired. But at the end of the day, like I don't think there's been a better time to kind of like build products than now. Oh, that's a long-winded answer to say that there's a lot of things that go into it, but now is a good time.
No, I love to hear that, and I think it's totally right. Like you have the ability to bootstrap using a mini app now, and like use our open social graph and solve that cold start. But like you can also pivot out if you want to go build a Grove iOS app. Like you can use that same open social graph data to bootstrap that there. And I hope, and I think we're getting to a point where we'll see some very successful mini apps start spinning out in that way and continue to use the open Farcaster graph in their own standalone apps.
I genuinely think that like once the rest of CT or the world sees that like a mini app evolves into $1 billion project, like it's going to change the mindset completely. Like the app chain is going to become real, and like Farcaster should be the first ones to do it. Like there's nobody better positioned than Farcaster. Like just because people underestimate how much stuff you guys have figured out in the 5 years of doing this already. Like a lot of stuff that you guys already did, people are thinking that it's kind of like easy, but there's a lot of stuff that you guys have done under the hood that a lot of people are not focusing on. And I think that positioning allows you to really like keep your edge. But I think that it's important and once again, this is biased, but it's important to have narrative winners. Like you have to like show like, hey, like this started here and now it's $1 billion company. Like there's no other place in the world in any pocket of the internet where you could do this besides like Farcaster. And it's gonna create a renaissance unlike you've ever seen before.
I love it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing. And then Mark, you want to demo stream and tell us about it?
Sure. First, I want to say that I'm a big fan of Griv. Igor and I have had a few conversations, and I think that, as Igor said, this is the right time. Like 6 months ago, you wouldn't be using an image as input, right? You'd have a form, and you'd have them fill in all this information, and it would just take too long, and people wouldn't do it. But now, you can just provide an image, selfie, and extract the image. It's the right time for this, and I think it's an mostly untapped area, and Griv is tapping it. So it's good to see. I'm here to talk about Stream, and Stream is a token launcher. You can launch tokens by mentioning the @Stream user. That's STREME on Farcaster, and mention the token symbol. This part of it was inspired by Clanker. We also use some open source Clanker code on the contract side, so we're big fans of Clanker. Some of the key things that we do a little differently is that every token supports built-in streaming powered by Superfluid, and each deployment comes with automatic staking. It's all built in, and the staking rewards are streamed per second. And one of the things we added a little bit later, we launched as part of the ETH Global Agentic Ethereum Hackathon, and we were named one of the finalists in that hackathon. But a month later, we added the mini app. And I am not the main person for the mini app. My co-founder, Zenny.eth, is the mini app front end mastermind. So most of what you see in the mini app and on the website is his work. I do a lot of the work on the server APIs and the contract stuff that supports the mini app. But the mini app, which I will show momentarily, is mostly his doing. So he deserves a lot of credit for that. I think he's done a great job. And there. Okay, so here we have the mini app is already open here. Let me just reload it. It's not reloading. 1 second. There we go. So here's the mini app, and by default, it shows the trending tokens. And there's a list of the tokens that are the highest in volume recently. So for each token, here's one that was launched by a community member, Super Inu. It gives you information about the token. You can share it on Farcaster. You can buy it, sell it, stake the token if you've already purchased it. All tokens are have automatic liquidity, single-sided liquidity, Uniswap v3. This is similar to Clanker, although Clanker's newer tokens are v4 on Uniswap. So we have staking. This was the Stream Growth Fund, which is a bit of an experiment we ran recently, where people who were staking the Stream token could pool their staking rewards together as a way to crowdfund. And it was a way to crowdfund a bid on the QR mini app, which we did, and we raised $1,000 worth of Stream to do that, and we won that QR auction a couple of weeks ago, and that was a big success, getting the word out. And soon after that, we added, it's not showing up here because I've already done this today, but each day, if you open the mini app, you can get a small drop of Stream tokens, of staked Stream tokens. So the benefit here of the staked Stream tokens is it comes with rewards. So as soon as you sort of get those tokens, you're earning the rewards immediately per second. So it's very easy for users to do that, and they can do that daily. So you can see here in the feed, you can see people who are sharing the fact, I claimed my daily drop of Stream just for opening the app. And you see other users. So we're really leveraging as much as possible the social graph here to get the word around, like also for deploying, but also when you stream or stake, things like that. So we're trying to do that. There are sections of the mini app for my tokens. These are the ones that I own. And you can see the current balance is not fixed, right? It's going up every second, right? And this is because the streaming rewards are streaming in every second. So we think people like the fact that their balances are alive and constantly increasing. And so the mini app, we've tried to emphasize that so people can see that visually. We also have, this is a launch. It just creates a bit of a template here in a cast, but you don't have to use the template. You can just mention Stream and launch a token that way. And we are part of the Superfluid streaming rewards program for the SUP token. The SUP is the ecosystem token of Superfluid, and instead of doing a conventional airdrop, they are doing streaming rewards, and we were one of the projects selected for that. And so if you're doing various actions in support of Stream, you earn a share of those flows. So here you can see there's a bit of a leaderboard here, and you can claim. I am not eligible to claim because as co-founders, we've excluded ourselves, but other users might see if they've deployed tokens or bought tokens or staked them, or a few other things. They might see a claim here, and they come back each day perhaps to update that claim, so that stream of SUP increases each day. And of course, then there's the profile here, and you can see the tokens you've launched and things like that. So that's the Stream mini app. I think Zenny has done a really good job in putting it together, and since it launched, it slowly moved its way up the trending leaderboard and spent some time near the top. I think it's maybe just outside the top 10 right now. I haven't looked today, but we've gotten some good feedback on that, and he deserves a lot of credit for the hard work that he's done on this. One more thing I'll say is that right now, Stream coins, when you deploy them, there's sort of a single configuration. 80% of the token goes to the Uniswap pool, 20% goes to staking rewards, and you can't change those right now. So it's very easy. You know what to expect. However, we're working behind the scenes on Stream V2, and one of the things we're looking at is adding some more optionality, trying to provide some features that would appeal more towards projects, apps, mini apps who are looking for a token to support their projects, whereas rather than strictly sort of meme style tokens. So there's different needs there. I kind of joke sometimes that it's a little bit more Stream.serious instead of Stream.fun. But so we're looking at those kinds of things. So if anybody has sort of requirements or ideas of what they might be looking for, obviously we're going to maintain a focus on streaming and some of the superpowers that brings, but also cognizant of some of the needs that projects have that are really unique. So I probably missed a lot of things, but if anyone has any questions.
That's super cool. It's very satisfying seeing the balance go up. So that's a nice add. I guess what have you found resonates with your users the most, and any interesting user behavior that you've seen that maybe you didn't expect or that is worth sharing?
Well, one of the things a feature that we hadn't envisioned is the ability to, we added the ability to stake tokens, but later we've added this ability to top up all your stakes with a single batch process. And this feature we got a bit of help from the Superfluid team in creating this batch. They have a macro system that we're using for this. But Zenny did a really good job in working that into the app. It makes it really easy. I can kind of show you what that looks like here. Top up all tokens. And you can see there's a long list depending on how many tokens you have, and you can top them all up together in one transaction. And people love to do this, to just top up. So, because when you're earning the streamed rewards, you're earning it in that token. So that means once you have more of the token, but that isn't staked yet. So it's kind of like you're sort of compounding it. So so you want to keep restaking the new rewards, so you get even a higher share. And the way these the staking reward pools work is it's proportional to the amount of staked tokens in the pool. So it's kind of, if you're early with one of these tokens, really early, then you get 100%, this fire hose of staked streaming rewards. Right? If you're the only one in the pool, you're getting 100% of it, right? But then as more people stake, then it goes down, right? Because you're sharing it with the other stakers. And so we think that was an interesting incentive to be early. It also can act as a bit of an anti-sniping mechanism, because one of the things you could do as soon as you buy early on is try to sell it really quickly, or you could stake and get even more of the token. So it adds an interesting aspect to the game theory there.
This is cool. Yeah, I think the kind of token launchpad model is pretty well known, right? And like tokens are this really interesting abstraction, and that you can see tons of different use cases for them, right? From meme coins to creator coins to app coins to, you know, you can turn a token into whatever you want, right? They're very versatile in terms of how they work and how you use them. But yeah, I'm interested, like, kind of in the what does kind of the streaming or staking like add on top of that, and like kind of what unique capabilities does this add if I'm, say, like, you know, compared to, you know, just say clinking a coin on the timeline or some other sort of launchpad model where it's more static, like what interesting thing can I do with streaming or staking? And is there a social component to that I could like use on top of Farcaster?
Yeah, I mean, one thing people have been using, this is not something we had initially planned, but because when you're staking a token, you're having this incoming flow of rewards, people have realized that this is an interesting way to tip via apps like Noise, because it's just funded by the staking rewards, like all their social activities. So there's an interesting angle there with that. Here I brought up this token, and another example. This is the leaderboard token. Now I have another mini app called the leaderboard, and I decided to use a stream coin as sort of like the token of the mini app. You know, it's identical in all respects to all the other stream coins deployed to date, but you know, I've used it as a way to send rewards in LB tokens, and to date, most of that has been. Sometimes I've earned a bit of a developer rewards, which is a great program, and I've sort of parlayed those into by buying LB and sending it to top members of the leaderboard. I'd like to sometime soon start streaming some of the LB tokens to members of the leaderboard as a streaming rewards. That's sort of kind of been in the back of my mind for a while. It's just a matter of finding time to set that up. So streaming rewards is a key feature of super tokens that powered by Superfluid. And so I think in the social context, in the context of apps and leaderboards, it's an interesting way to incentivize users. It's also not all at once, whereas an airdrop, it rewards, you know, past behavior, and then people often take that and they sell the tokens and they go away and they don't necessarily use the service anymore once they've earned the airdrop. Whereas this kind of flips it on its head. You're earning the rewards as you do things, and even if over time it's significant, it's streamed slowly, so it puts a bit of a damper on sell pressure because you're not getting all those tokens all at once. And so we think that having those streaming rewards could be a key thing for projects and app developers and things like that. It can also be a means of paying for subscriptions. I mean, perhaps, you know, stable coins are more appropriate for those kinds of things, and there are ways to stream stable coins too. But you know, I think it opens up a lot of interesting different mechanics than a regular ERC20 token.
That's really cool. So like as you climb the leaderboard, you would earn a larger share of the stream, and it would kind of be continuous over time in terms of compounding and growing. It's really interesting. It's like you're taking this like discrete thing, right? Like the retroactive airdrop, like this huge time period, and look at what you've done over this long period of time, and kind of just shrink that down into these continuous time slices where you can evolve sort of continuously. That's awesome.
Mark, a quick question on the token stream. Do you have any plans on using that to incentivize new token launches on stream? Is there, because it's gained quite a bit of value over the last like few weeks. Is that like something that you guys are considering, or?
We are looking at no alpha to announce today, but we are looking at various options around the table for things in that area for sure. We haven't made any final decisions, so I don't want to talk too much in any detail there, but we're definitely looking at some things that we can do there that could be interesting for sure. I mean, we've started effectively sharing some of it by doing these drops of these daily drops. I mean, they're small amounts now, but there's other things that we'll be thinking on and probably adding as time passes.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing. I think we had a couple more on our side that we wanted to share. Maybe Horsefax, you had them.
Yeah, let's do yours first. I have it pulled up, which is this app, Sonar.
Yeah, so Sonar is just really cool. I think Mo was already building a bunch of this stuff already in terms of data that he wanted to see, and then just kind of threw together stuff in a mini app and then started adding more features. So I just thought it was really neat. Like if you want to get more data about accounts, you can go to someone's profile and see kind of like stats about them. You can explore stats of channels. So I think there's just I also like the media tab. If you go there, like it's very like
Nice.
Twitter-esque, right? Like you can see all the media people are posting, and then stats I just find really interesting, useful. Like I'll probably look at this in the future. The debug is, I don't really know what that's for.
Oh, this is like JSON data. Yeah, look at this Nanar API response. That's cool.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, so I just thought this was a useful resource for people that want to learn more about their own account and like other accounts.
Oh, look at this. It's using the back button too. I love that.
Yeah, and then channels as well. You can take a look.
Okay.
So you can see like, any of these channels go to, and then you can see stats and media within those channels as well. So that's a nice way to just discover like interesting content and see how many members and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is really nice. Mo always knocks it out of the park on these. I love the entire like ecosystem of these apps that he's built. They always have the Mo aesthetic. It's really cool. Yeah, mini apps.
Yeah.
Coming soon. Cool.
Yep. So and Farcaster stats, I think there were some there as well. So yeah, you can just see kind of trends and things happening. So.
Nice. Yeah, the Notorious Dune dashboard. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, that was
awesome.
That was mine.
Cool. Yeah, mine is What Did I Miss by Vrypen. Has anyone used this yet?
Not yet.
Cool. So this is this is an awesome sort of feed summarization mini app. The idea here is basically he's built a really nice tool that you sign up with your social graph, it introspects your feed, and then summarizes the interesting things that people are talking about, conversations that people are having on Farcaster. And it's really good. Like it will summarize basically if you've been away from the feed for a day or two, you can open this up and it will give you a nice feed-based summary of everything that's been happening on your feed and on Farcaster while you were gone. So yeah, what did I miss? $3 a month. So it has this really nice built-in monetization model where you pay 3 USDC and it will do this really cool work of summarizing and building this summary for you within the mini app. In fact, I might even need to top up my subscription here. But yeah, you can see here, you just open it up every day. You can optionally have it send you notifications every day, and it gives you a really, really great summary of things that have been happening on the platform. And I know, lots of people are interested in this ability of kind of plugging in other feed algorithms or summarization algorithms, or discovery is a big, a big theme for people on Farcaster. And we have all this open social data, so tools that introspect that and summarize it and slice and dice it in interesting ways are really useful. But yeah, let's see. Just scrolling through mine, you can see like what's in here, right? So some of your conversation here, Linda, on what conversations about Farcaster mini apps resonate as you've been talking to people outside the space. Ted's update here on joining Privy and her new job. Discussion on these new X Twitter watermarks. And the cool thing here is you can also click through here. And like if you're interested in one of these summaries, you get the thread and you can click through and read all the details on this content. So
that's super cool.
It's really cool that they included the subscription model, like even if it's a small amount, the $3. I'm actually curious about what the mini app is using. Is it just like a timestamp? Like every month it tries to like draw from your Farcaster wallet, and if you don't have it, it like cancels your subscription.
Yeah, I think it's just a pretty simple, like, monthly token payment thing. I don't think it's, an app key or anything too complicated there yet. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see apps start to experiment with that as we get more, smart wallet capabilities and things like that. Yeah, I think for right now it's just a
100%.
simple kind of $3 a month top up payment.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's really cool. A cool thing here too is like it summarizes these threads, right? So there are multiple thematic conversations that are pulled together here. You can click through each one, right? But you can see here these are like two separate conversations that have been grouped together into the same topic here. So yeah, really great tool for especially those who kind of come back and want to catch up on their feed, or also just yeah, I don't know about everyone else. I follow like 3,000 people or something. I kind of love being like an info super follower maxi, but a lot of times it's hard to like consume that fire hose, right? So having something that summarizes that for me and kind of tries to pull out and filter out the signal is really useful. And this does a really great job of it. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Check it out. What did I miss?
Yeah, I like the feature here that works mostly in desktop with mini apps, where this is a good example of it, where you can click on a cast and without leaving the mini app, it opens, and you can just stay in the mini app and sort of look back and forth and continue to scroll down the mini app. I mean, that's really powerful.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you both for joining us. Thanks for the demos. And yeah, we'll see everyone, I think, next week.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Linda.
thanks.
Thanks, Horton. Of course, thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.